Good morning. There's so many people still in their beds, fast asleep. Early birds are catching worms. That's what they say. That's what the saying is. Yeah. Every single day, the blessing many miss. Yeah, man, yeah, man. Just another day at the office. Just another day to practice understanding, another day to practice positivity, another day to practice core essential mindset. Yeah, man. In this crazy world, we need to remain solid. Like a lighthouse, shine on. Have a great day, mate. Love builds love. Cool, man. Yes, yes. Have a great day at the office. Peace. Stay dry. Have a good day, man. It's okay. We're waterproof. It's just our clothes that get wet. You can dodge the raindrops if you're quick enough. Scots and the Dutch, we're used to wet weather. Have a good day, mate. Take your boat. Yeah, man, Ty. It's been a long time, brother. It's been a long time, man. Yep, you're saying I hope it's all well. It's as well as anybody else who's dealing with the overload of psychological pressures and physical and social dynamics. So, yep, like many other people, trying to absorb it all and, yeah, promoting that positive and strong mindset. Just reminding people out there on this planet that there are solid influences. Maybe try and do a little skip back to some common sense, even. Great to talk to you, man. Many chats on Dutch Sense channel. I pop in every now and again, but I really just sit back and just watch the chat. Somebody just drop some love in. But yeah, man, while everything changes, not a lot changes. It's great to talk to you, man. Hope everything's well with your circle and staying strong. It's very difficult, Ty. And unfortunately, it's a symptomatic effect, I think, of the big design, the big plan, Agenda 21. We're old, dyed in the wool conspiracy factualists. I was speaking with a friend the other day saying that the awake culture, being awake, not the woke, but being awake, it's been over 30 years for me. And now, constantly with different points of transition, just consistently seeing the same blueprint applied to every single dynamic on this planet is very, very clear to me. And unfortunately, it's very symptomatic that they do put us in an isolation mode, but we cannot stay like that for long because it goes against the grain of who we are, what we believe, what we want to promote, and the roots that we've always had. It's just they're very tainted, they're poisoned, we're pushed to the side, and it's definitely a symptomatic effect of the dis-ease that is caused generally. So I feel you, brother. I get it, and I've been there, but you'll bounce back. You'll bounce back because the craziness needs people like yourself. That's for sure. I've had quite a lot of, I think you knew this anyway, hassle through YouTube, putting out videos that were being blocked and removed and things. I've moved on to Rumble so I can freely speak my mind without having to quantify my thoughts and expressions to fit in with manipulated community standards. So yeah, I'm over on Rumble also and start leaving a few links for there. And once I get a few subscribers, I can start to go live on Rumble. And yeah, be free with thoughts. And yes, I will offend people, but I never ever will ever set out to offend anyone. It's just I have a set of ideals and morals and principles that I live my life by. And I don't expect anybody to be like me, but like everybody else, I would like people to respect my feelings and how I think, what my thoughts are. So yeah, man. But I can't properly do it here without being banned and blocked, especially when I'm having a go at major corporations and industries and the ideology and psychology behind everything that's got us spinning in this infinity of craziness. Yeah, man. I'll just put up my. That's me, man. The blunt Scotsman. And what are you doing up at this time? Are you having problems sleeping? Take it you'll be going to get your bed soon. So just 10 to 7 here in the Netherlands. I'm a fully paid up member of the Insomnia Club, mate. I went beyond where insomnia lays and eventually got to a very critical point of understanding with the anxiety and the onward leading again symptomatic effects that not being able to sleep does cause. And it is hyper important, mate, that you still lay down, that you put some relaxing music on or a nice smell that you recognize and sort of really force yourself to rest. You must even rest. Don't worry about not sleeping, rest. I don't know how many years I went through the tossing and turning, eventually getting up and just starting my day at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know? And there's just many nights now that I won't sleep either, but there'll be music playing in the background and I'll have some candles on and I'll be up and down and up and down and up and down. But I've taken the stress away from I'm tired, I want to sleep and can't sleep. And it's everything, mate. It's not just the galacto effect, the universal pull, the moon, all these sort of like the base minerals are definitely being affected at this moment. Let's just put it that way. But also the psychological sensory perception that we are bombarded with every single day creates its own psychological dynamic that suppresses sleep, difficult to sleep. But that this is an effect of the dis-ease that is generally caused. So this is when we know these facts, we must now take control of that little element and release ourselves from the dis-ease and force ourselves to rest. And try and stay away from as many chemicals as you can because they have an adverse effect eventually. That's 100% something I know about. Now being almost 5 years clear of all pharmaceuticals, nearly 5 years now, only using medicinal mushrooms, magic truffles, and strong marijuana. But yeah, the sleep thing is a big thing for people having problems with. It saved me not taking any pharmaceuticals, Ty, because I injured my back when I was 21 at work, and I managed to work only like 9 years up to the age of 40. But from 21 onwards, I was in strong pharmaceuticals for almost 25 years. I was really quite lucky to still be alive. I went through some very, very serious points at the end of my pharmaceutical use. And it's personally, for me, I can only obviously just speak for myself, it saved me. I was in and out the hospital every 3 or 4 months with severe sickness and hydration, and the doctors couldn't really work out what it was, but I sort of worked it out myself. It was over 20 years of really strong pharmaceutical, all the strong opioids and the psychotropic tryptamines like the Valium and the gabapentin and all these sort of drugs, and eventually sleeping tablets and heart tablets and stomach tablets. My body was a mess chemically. And sitting here this morning, amazing miracle that I'm even still alive. And what I've actually had to do from many years ago to where I found myself now was push myself to another country just to try and access a medication that I knew worked for me. Yeah, man. It's definitely helped me. And the more that I've sort of studied the pharmacology side of everything and found out that over 90% of all pharmacology is extracts or synthesized plants, it's made me very cynical, made me very angry, knowing that this really free medication for all is available through seeds. So yeah, just a bit sort of angry and cynical that a marketplace has stolen health and made it a wealth before health market. And we've seen the major profiteering through the coronavirus, and I can't say much about it. I really had to stop myself there. I maybe actually already said too much. I've got a couple of videos that I will be putting up onto Rumble that YouTube removed. And I'd sent a message to YouTube saying that the things that I'd spoke about in certain couple of videos have actually been proven true and has been spoken about in mainstream. I didn't get a reply from YouTube. They banned and blocked me for 3 months of uploading anything at that point. But it's like there's actually nothing hidden any longer. Everybody knows. It's just people being acceptant of what they're seeing and what we're witnessing. We've all really just became witnesses now. There is nothing hidden. Everything is known, and it runs so deep that it eventually goes past the political agenda to the corporate meddling, to the control involved, gets past all the money, gets past all the need for greed, and gets to the base of what it's all about, and it's spiritual. This is dark forces that are involved to let this planet get to the way it is, and why there's so many corporations spending billions and billions on outer worldly exploration while there's still children on this planet that cannot get a drink of water. Yeah, man. Major contradiction in humanity terms that we all have to juggle every single day just to appease our own conscience. Terrible life. Spiritual. Adrenochrome. The fear factor. Zero integrity to maximize profit. And yeah, what can you do? Remain steadfast, stick to what you know, keep an open mind, keep on learning, and speak out. It's just obviously the speak out on YouTube, you can't really do that. Say things we allow you to say, and that's cool. Sounds fascist to me. I mean, I've always been very, very suspicious of the anonymous thumbs down, where for years on YouTube I've had a thumbs down club. But I don't think people really understand the deep psychological damage they do to themselves and leaves that root chakra open. When people use an anonymous thumbs down, I don't think people actually really realise what they're doing. And I think it wasn't until I was using thumbs down that I realised what that was. I would actually rather tell someone why I didn't like their video, I didn't like their comments, I didn't like their point of view, and express mine, rather than just have this anonymous negativity. And it's deeply, deeply fascista. Ty, you're saying there, even spiritually, you feel you're struggling. It feels like there is little, no good left anymore. That's correct. That's correct. But without a doubt, the most darkest time of a seed's life is when it's been buried in the ground, mate. And without a doubt, people like yourself and people like myself, because I recognize that, we are buried. But nature takes its course. If you, as the seed, stay strong and keep watering yourself with determination, love, community values, and your own moral common sense instinct that you've had since you were young, you will eventually become the gardener of your own destiny, brother. And the harvest is there for all, always. The thing is about nature and seeds, you will plant a seed and it may not grow. You will plant a seed and it may grow in a few months. But you may plant a seed and it may not grow for 3 years until a harvest appears. And this beautiful planet with volcanoes, fire, ice, and beauty, it tells us all that without a doubt what goes around comes around. And yeah, man, many of the light bringers, light sharers, the lighthouses on this planet feel dark and dim, mate. And that's actually one of the main reasons that I started throwing myself out live every morning, was just to even just share the cyber pebble out into the fibre optic ocean that, hey, I'm alive, I care, I understand, I see it, you're not alone. Because the communication and the unity that creates the community is divided and dispersed. And unfortunately, all we've really got is what platforms like these and Rumble to be able to skip out and search out and say, hey, you okay, brother? Have you got it, sister? When I'll be doing these lives, brother, if I don't know if you like to share your voice and your vibration out onto the internet, but I'll be using Skype to hook up audio and be chatting with a few folk. And as long as this is okay for YouTube, I'll keep going live every morning until I get enough subscribers on Rumble, and I'll probably just be live on Rumble. We start a thing on YouTube and then jump over to Rumble, sort of thing. Because yeah, you can say everything that you think. Thought crimes. Thought crimes and speech gets you banned and blocked on YouTube. And I've asked YouTube many times now. I mean, I've really deeply thought of what side of history they want to end up on. But yeah, man. The corporation's in charge. Let's see if this works. That's my Skype. In the Netherlands, man. When I left the Netherlands at the end of 2017, 2018, I was back and forward to the Netherlands about 6 or 7 times until 2020, actually the day before coronavirus closed down the planet with no flights. My flights were cancelled back to Scotland, and a 3-week holiday became a 3-month look for flights. And then eventually I reapplied for my residency here in the Netherlands, and I now stay in the Netherlands. But it's I still have to do a few things, believe it or not, which we'll talk about later. I won't talk about it right now. But at the moment, I stay in the Netherlands. Yeah, man. I'm southeast Netherlands. I'm very close to the German border. I've been here for nearly 4 years, brother. Yeah, man. All because I wanted to use medicinal marijuana as my medicine. All these things that you seem to give up in life just to retain some sense stability. Yeah, well, time is the inherent illusion that our psyche uses to quantify reality, brother. And yeah, like quick time, slow time, no time. Obviously, the time thing is just another control thing, and changes so much. Nature tells us that, yeah, what is time? Been messing about with OBS. At some point, it just means I can have a visual of the garden looking at the cat, but I can have some videos playing in the background. just some playback videos from a few years ago. Got so many videos that I've actually all put on private on YouTube because YouTube were just removing videos without even notifying me. And the reason I knew that was because I'd already had copies of the videos. And when I went to check for them again, I actually had to re upload a video, which was eventually banned and blocked again. And I'm only really speaking about things that were that are in the public platform, in the public domain. And about 3 or 4 times through this video, I kept saying, listen, don't take my word for this. Google search this. And yet, I maybe have said a certain couple of words wrong, or I maybe have got a number wrong here and there, but I've said like 2 or 3 times through the video, listen, don't take my word for this. Go and Google search this stuff. And YouTube removed it again. So a lot of time, and I know that I'm shadow banned on YouTube still, that I'll be showing that in a video at some point soon. Some of the comments that I've made on channels where there's like thousands and thousands of replies and thumbs up and all that sort of stuff, and there's my little comment just sitting there with not a reply, nothing, just sitting there ghosted. So that's been a long time on this channel since, yeah, man, since GCHQ tried to hack my computer. Yeah, man, and it's always been an issue with this channel. The first time Planet Fargon was a channel, the blocks and disruption, all the lives we're getting with the live streams, and then eventually Planet Fargon channel was removed. Then I came back onto YouTube as Rogue Waves, then to Planet Fargon Awakening. But yeah, just the same problems. And now really constantly having to think before you speak. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long where I can maybe be on for an hour or so on YouTube, and then I can just jump onto Rumble because, yeah, free speech, man. And it's not, do you know something? It's not even the truth that gets you banned. It's pointing out the obvious that gets you banned. It's an unbelievable psychological state of affairs at the moment. That's what I'm saying. It's like absolutely everybody knows. It's whether they want to accept it or not, or deny what they'd already see, what they feel, what they realise how this planet actually does run now. Just look, bury your head in the sand and go on with it, close your curtains and have your meal and hope that the world's just here the next day. Yeah, many people have got into that survival mode, and I understand. But it ain't a true human instinct. A true human instinct is to love, is to care for one another, and is to fight for that. Well, I was back when I was getting all the bans and blocks and stuff, and the world quote bans, and they were like removing like 4 hour live videos. They were leaving the video but removing the whole audio of what we were speaking about. I get banned on Twitch as well. I've not tried to get back onto Twitch or X, but I've only just started on Rumble. I said I've thrown up a couple of videos on Rumble that YouTube banned, blocked, and removed, and I put them up onto Rumble just to see what's going to happen here. But no problem. Up on Rumble, people are looking at them. Rumble are saying, "Hey, whatever you want to create, or you want to express yourself, be free." Yeah, see, it's quite yeah. I'm actually thinking about something to say just now, and I'm having to run it through the uh, the YouTube filter in my brain to thinking, do you think you can see this? I'm saying to myself, you know what? Probably couldn't. Yeah, man. At some point, it'll kick off a little bit. It's like when once you've got enough subscribers on Rumble, you can go live. I think I only need 5 subscribers, and I think already I have 3. So yeah, man. As soon as I get 5 subscribers, I will be going live on Rumble. And I always thought at one point there would be the mass exodus from YouTube, but there's so many channels that use YouTube to jump over to Rumble or to promote their Rumble. And maybe a bigger statement would be for all these channels that are doing so on the same day, connected with each other. All the channels have been in contact. Totally leave YouTube. Download and save all your videos and stuff like that and leave YouTube en masse to make a point, but also to make a point. Listen, YouTube, if you can come back to base level of free speech, and yes, you always would have to have some sort of community base that isn't promoting violence or hate crime or hate speech, but still be able to speak openly and not be fearful of offending others or offending points of views with your own. Because to be able to be sitting here on a live World Wide Web platform, not being able to speak your mind, being controlled, yeah, man, shame on you, YouTube. My name on Rumble is the Blunt Scotsman. It- It's really strange. I don't know what happened at some point. There used to be so many live. I mean, I can remember at one point where I was really ill and I wasn't been able to move very well, and all my day would be YouTube. And I would just live to live to live, mate. You know what it used to be like? And you used to have so many different communities you would drop in on, and you would have your chat, and you would just spread the different political world and different vibration with everybody. But now it just seems to be all gaming and sports orientated. And I don't know how many news channels replicate themselves talking about all the individual headlines, but have them as a live. It's like there's one channel that's still playing all the UFO stuff from last year on a constant live stream, like with 50 people in it. So yeah, it's got a bit strange. And even on Rumble, there doesn't seem to be too many lives on Rumble where there's just sit down, chat, conversation, come and chill. I'm up about 5 or 6 o'clock every single morning, so it's not only good for me to have something to do, and I've got dog sitting duties and cat sitting duties a few hours a week, so I don't have much work that I need to do. And I've started painting and trying to sell some of my painting to sort of like subsidise my income here. Uh, so I'm kept busy. I've been doing the sunrise exercise for over 10 years now, so even in the summer when it's like 4:30, 4:45, I'm up. Embrace that natural energy that I know that the sun gives out. I'm totally aware of it and connected to it, and it gives me strength, even when it's a cloudy day like this. Recognition, awareness, realization, and acceptance. Now I've got 4 followers, brother. I only need 1 follower, and I'm live on Rumble. Cool, mate. Nice one, man. Blessings. And I've got a really good friend. I don't know if you remember Buzzacino that used to, well, he's still on the channel here. He's been my foil for years on YouTube. He won't come on YouTube. He won't even speak on YouTube. He's saying, look, once you're on Rumble, I come on to Rumble, and I totally understand and get it, even though I would never give up spread my vibration anywhere. I understand what he's saying. But I'll have private conversations with him that he won't have on YouTube, and I'm like, brother, I wish we could speak about this on YouTube, and then he reminds me we couldn't, because the things that we will speak about together needs to go onto Rumble, unfortunately. I'm sure YouTube won't miss us that much. They've kept this channel restricted and off the algorithm chart for years and years. So yeah, man. They don't push critical thinking. Yeah, man, Ty. Well, it's that time. Fresh coffee and another joint, man. Yeah, coffee time, mate. Oh. Nice one. Oops, easy. Technical issues. Sit there. Thank you. Yeah, man. That's not a painting here. That's just a wall covering. This cat's undecided again. She's the undecided feral. She wants in, she wants out, she wants in, she wants out. It's a bit wet today, so she'll either end up sleeping on the couch, the chair, or the shed. Yeah, man, it's nice, man. Now let's see it all, man. Hold on. It's a beautiful wall cover, mate. My mother from Scotland sent me it. And look at the young energy on this side with the sun and stuff, and the flowering tree with butterflies. And we have the old energy here with the tree withering away to the full moon. That's a black cat. Well, someone's pointed out to me it might actually be an owl that's up in the side of the tree, but it's lovely, man. And when it actually sent to me as a pair of curtains, yeah, too beautiful. Ended up on the wall. Cat's on my chair. Yeah. Won't be long for the sun now. There she is. Our feral cat. The cat of the Strat. On the channel, lots of little videos. The cat brought me 4 kittens. Which was, yeah man, it was an experience. Here she goes. She's hunting, man. She's found something. She brings a lot of live mice back here. A few dead birds. She brought a dead fish the other day. Yeah, tries to look after me, I think. Coffee. She go way up the fence. It's too dark, you won't see her, man. She's on top of that fence. Oh, like her cheers, man. She's right up on top of the fence there, just at the side of the tree. Where I am here in the south of Holland, we're not too far away from a military base. And for the last 2 or 3 nights, it has constantly been jets in the air. And I'm not too sure what sort of air support the Netherlands, or if they're letting their bases being used by Eurofighters. But I don't know. For hours last night, constant rumble, and rumble of jets taking off from here. And there's massive military drills all happening right across Europe. The heat is so on, man, on every angle. Yeah. Well, she usually is out all night and bringing live mice back 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Me trying to catch them in the house. She likes to play with the mice, and then I need to try and let the mice go free uh, before she'll eat it. But yeah, she is a real feral cat and eats everything she finds outside, but usually just hunting things. But she likes to bring me live mice. And of course, at one point, 4 kittens, where I had to trap her last year. She bit lumps out me and scratched me to death almost to get her to the vets to be properly checked out and for her to have the operation so that she doesn't bring me any more kittens because I can't keep my window closed when she's in. She needs it out. She needs to be able to come in and out whenever she wants. She's more of an outside cat than she is an inside cat. What I said in the video when she first started coming here was that I don't have a cat has me. Yeah, 4 beautiful little kittens, man. And she was only a bit of a kitten herself when she came to me last year. She could only have been about 3 or 4 months, and she would not come into the house. And I was trying to get her to come in for food because winter was coming, and she would not come in. And eventually, she would come in the kitchen window. It was a cold winter, and anytime I moved in the living room, she would be up and out, and she wouldn't let me get anywhere near her. Now she'll be around my feet. She'll maybe let me touch her a little bit. But yeah, she's a feral who has a human. Oh, amazing, man. Yeah, well, just what you're saying, she wants to make sure you're okay, and it's like a treat, apparently, that they do this for you. The other night, that how did that go again? Right, she brought a mouse, and a mouse escaped, and I'm hunting for the mouse, I'm hunting for the mouse, and she just got up and went away back outside, like, okay, have fun. As if she thinks this is, I don't know what the cat will maybe think, but me thinking what the cat would maybe think. It's like, okay, that's you got your mouse on my way to get some more mice. I don't know, weird. Well, she has. I don't really understand why she's only taken to me. Any of my friends and stuff like that would maybe come and visit. Anybody that even just comes to my door, if she's in the house, she'll be up and out and away out to the back garden. She is in survival mode constantly around me, and I'm just here. She'll lay at my feet. She'll chill in the living room. She'll follow me up the stairs. But as soon as anybody or any other energy comes, she's gone. So I can't really share her with anybody. And anytime anybody's here, she stays in the garden and will not come in. She will come in to one of my friends. But it took me months and months for her to even be used to my energy. So I think that's just the way that she is. She would take months and months and months of getting used to any other energy here. Just need to get my Dutch homework on. What is wrong with this camera? Thought I should say hello, brother. Yeah, man. Cat's deciding what she wants to do today. You can't get the staff to work your cameras these days. She's in there somewhere. What are you drinking, mate? In fact, what time is it where you are? I don't know about the looking sharp, but I'm definitely looking. I've maybe felt sharper. But thank you very much for the nice compliment. You know something? I could actually have guessed. I remembered that you were in Michigan, I think. Have you got tea? Have you got tea with lemon and ginger and stuff like that? Or do you even have any strong alcohol that you can just put a little teeny bit in a tea and start to wind yourself down a little bit so you can go and get some rest? Are you working tomorrow? I think we're going to get some weird clouds, man. Trying to turn this round again. Get these big line clouds the other day, man. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Let's see if these clouds come, man. You're starting welding school in April. Excellent, man. We can never have enough plans or enough ambitions, brother, to learn something new or to add something on. We'd always need to keep looking at that new aspect to not always reinvent or recreate ourselves, but definitely to keep layering stuff on that's going to add and complement our energy. So cool, man. The in between jobs thing is what it is, and it's a great time, I suppose, to get things done around the house or to start writing a few lists that are attainable, you know. Because there's nothing worse than falling out of a routine and letting a routine find you. You know, you need to be proactive with that sort of shit. Or else we can find ourselves just like understandably being lazy, you know. That very much like, you know what, I'll just get it done tomorrow because we can. You know what, I'll get that done next week because we've got the time to look at things and say, you know what, I don't really need to look at that until next week. But we get into that easy mindset where, as we know, when things are full steam ahead, we're up at 6 o'clock, we're washed and dressed for 7 on our way out to work, or we're doing what we need to do every single day for whatever reason that may be. And you do know that when we are like that those tired, hard mornings and sometimes late nights gets us the best rest and the best sleep and the best enjoyment from life when we're working hard. Strange that. Well, do you know something? It's like I'm 59 this year, and the new things that I've keep on learning, and I learned this about maybe about 9 years ago, uh, and for many years, I ate marijuana. I ate cannabis. I used to eat a lot of it, and the stone and the sleep I used to get off from the edibles from eating it was amazing. But then I found something out very important about the mechanics and the metabolism of what actually happens to our body when we digest cannabis. When we digest cannabis, there's a very significant enzyme that is created called 5-hydroxy metabolite. That 5-hydroxy metabolite spikes melatonin. It increases melatonin tenfold through the body that gives you that really heavy stoned feeling. It ain't as much the THC or the CBD that's getting you stoned and high. It's this special specific enzyme that's created when we actually digest the cannabis. And from me knowing that every single night, if I can, I'll either be taking some full spectrum CBD THC oil or trying to eat something just to make sure that I can get over the bridge at night time to get a few hours sleep myself. But as far as being able to get some sort of sleeping concern, especially for the tokers and stuff, because when we're maybe having a little smoke during the day and recreationally, or just staying chilled or staying balanced, or however you want to quantify your marijuana use, qualify your marijuana use, at night time to eat a little bit totally changes your whole perspective on how you feel and your body buzz. Because a lot of the strong ganja out there just now are hyperactive, psycho, triggered weeds that's giving you energy, is giving you buzz, is giving you connection. It isn't really giving you chill. But you cannot eat any medicinal marijuana without this 5-hydroxy metabolite enzyme being created that spikes melatonin naturally. This is a thing. It's a natural procession. It's your body taking care of yourself. After 2 o'clock, you need to sign into the insomnia club. And after 3 o'clock, you just start making yourself coffees. Don't know how many times up doing big long streams, and that point in the morning where you're talking with someone, they're like, "Are you going to sleep? You put another coffee on." And you're thinking, you know what? In a couple of hours, the sun's going to be up. You're like, yeah, I might as well now. I can go to sleep about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. That time it's too late. Do you know something? So I tried gummies here, mate. I didn't like them for whatever reason. They didn't do too much for me. There are lollipops that me and one of my friends get here. They're quite strong, but the oil that sold here through the smart shops and the herbal shops, strong enough, mate. It really is strong enough for what it needs to do. Of course, there's the online edibles that you can order and stuff like that, but as always, you don't properly know what's exactly in it, and we're too old to be dabbling. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. is the first watch. 2 a.m. is it really is the decision point at 2 a.m. It's like, you know what, that's it, shut it all down. You know you're probably not going to be able to turn over to sleep till about 3-ish anyway. And in the back of your mind is, and if I don't get to sleep, I'm just going to need to get back up. So yeah, this time between 2 and 3 o'clock for you is to make yourself as comfortable as possible. And if you feel that sleepy thing coming on, flick, everything all off and lay down. But if you don't really feel any difference between 2 and 3 o'clock, yeah, man, enjoy your coffee. The new day has started by that time. Some people start their work at 4. The good old, bad old, good old days. I don't think you're picking up the clouds the way that I'm seeing them here. We get a lot of Sahara dust blowing across this part of Europe. That's what it's like. Eventually, you get these big sort of like ripple clouds in the sky that actually looks like sand on the beach a little bit, but this camera's not picking up when I'm looking at the screen. There's these really, really like, yeah, it's like sand on the beach, those ripples that are on the beach next to the shore. Look up, look out, look in. Yeah, well, you see that thing about the time thing, I do understand what it's used for and how it's sort of like been implemented into social structures and stuff like that, and how it's very much relied on. I get all that, but it's like when I have individually understood that, to me, time was non-existent at a time when I was having a really hard time with my medical condition. I could only eat when I felt hungry. I could only poop at a certain time. I could only really sleep when I would black out. There was no, this is what time you eat, and this is what time you go to sleep and stuff like that. Time dissolved for me. Yeah, there were certain things that I had to check in for, or I knew certain things I maybe wanted to watch was at a certain time, but it evaporated for me, where like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning didn't mean anything. 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning could be 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes. It's like the body clock and the psychology of what time was supposed to mean lost its meaning for me. And even though, yeah, I need to still keep appointments to certain times and stuff like that, I still feel a little bit like that, where it doesn't matter to me anymore what time it is. Because I truly understand that the future's never here and the past is always gone, and we only ever have this ever existing now that consistently keeps changing. So you can never put your finger on it. So yeah, it's a ghost construct used for social control. Or it's a social mechanic, so maybe not say control. Unless you need to be somewhere at a certain time you're getting fired, then that feels a bit controlling. Especially if you've got busy traffic. Try saying how many things actually have been there. I don't believe the news anymore. You see, they've been very clever, mate. Those who know do not tell, and those who tell do not know in the land of the look behind. And it's a deep, deep, deep psychological seed that's been planted for years and years and years. And this has been going on since the 1930s, and people don't really realise the depth in all of this. They don't. And the implementation of technology and the soft breaking in of us all to being complicit in the AI build up to what it's become, to where now creators can easily just throw a thing into the computer and get this AI generated speech script, where no one knows if it's true or not. And we're consistently played upon a massive psychological level within the depths of our own conscience. Where I pointed out a few years ago that a man who had sold more weapons on this planet than any man in history, where a man had more children and women as collateral damage through warfare on his name than any man in history, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. That is the most massive contradiction in terms that has been played on human psyche, as we can sit down to eat our dinner around a table and know these facts, these flip-flop good and evil conjunctions that become desensitized to the horror because we have a microwave or the next iPhone. And I do really feel that many people on this planet don't actually realise, but it's us that has been nurtured into being the artificial intelligence. Yeah, man. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Smash that thumbs up button. Hallelujah. Yeah, man. I actually have incorporated the experience of feeling a little bit of relief every time I wake up in the morning, because it is such a fragile position. The corporation has got everything in, and be so easy for an accident to happen now. You know, if the solar kill shot or the planet hasn't decided that it's got to its breaking point, then you could so easily see the end coming with a malfunction, with a mistake, because the same blueprint for perpetual profit through the industrial complex, from way before the Vietnam War, you can easily look at the First and Second World Wars where the corporations been in control and can see how the elements have always been about the profiteering, which is demonic. It gets to the spiritual element beyond all the cash. But you can see the problem action, and obviously now it used to be problem action solution. These top agents used to allow things to happen so they could have the action and the solidarity of nations behind their actions. Then obviously the solution would come profitably in these massive companies, Halliburton, BlackRock, and blah blah blah, all the rest. So yeah, man, could easily see just something just popping off, and by the time that it could actually be a true 100% genuine accident, the black swan event, the false flag, the counter conspiracy, the 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 playing field is messed up. It's all smoke screen and mirrors. You don't see it in the sleight of the hand. The psychological tricks are played, and before we know it, we have sensory perceived what they have produced for us, and it creates the feeling. Before we know it, we're too late. We're on a slippery slope. We are clickbait. They got us like that. And unless you totally understand where you're at with it all, then there is no climbing out of it. There's no climbing back. You're zombied. You're sheep. You're conforming. And that list they tick us off on, that they fill in for us, that form for us that they con us with, is the conform, is the confirmation of the nation that they require. That everybody reacts the way that they want us to react, and eat what they tell us, and take the medicine that they tell us, and conscript when they tell us, and depopulate as designed. And all the way back to Agenda 21, we're into Chapter 23, it's the capstone event. And just because I've been guided to these visions, not everybody understands the depth of it all, because it goes all the way back decades and decades and decades and decades to the bloodlines and beyond, all the way back to 6,000 years ago at Egypt. Yeah, man. Of course, this corporation has been passed on through bloodlines and through generations for years and years and years. It's not called heritage for nothing. I say too much. See, the unfortunate thing about you're just saying you turned 40 last year, but maybe this in common, but psychology and people, myself included, the psychology is a major problem. Every single one of us on this planet has a mental health issue, because certain neuroplasticity roots have been created by forced fear that gives anxiety and depression and eventually eradicates hope, which is the only thing that keeps a soul alive. And we become dressed spiritually by the clothes that we incorporate in our psyche. It's the things that we pick up as a strength that keeps us spiritually dressed. There's just so much denial going on, and it's understandable because there's a lot of self-preservation going on. But because the thing is, once you actually totally accept what this all is, it's core shaking, and it breaks all your beliefs, and it makes you take a giant step to knowing. And you know what? Not a lot of people actually truly want to be in the knowing. They'd rather just have beliefs. Well, I believe it's maybe this, or I believe it could be that, or I believe it's possibly that, or I'm not sure what I believe. People don't want to jump to knowing. A lot of people are not ready. And belief and knowing are actually, you know what I mean, in the marketplace of debate are thrown quite close together, but they're nothing like each other. You can believe that bridge may hold you to cross that river. There's a difference when you know it will. And levels of acceptance doesn't mean it's a point of giving up or giving out or giving something your energy. The acceptance part may be that, you know what, for me to get to the other side of that river, I'm going to have to build a bridge. That acceptance is hard work, determination, motivation. Acceptance, that's when the hard work starts. Even if it's on a psychological and spiritual level of rebuilding yourself as an individual. The acceptance part, wow, is this what this planet's really like? Isn't the giving up. It's the right, what am I now going to do? If this is the way it is. No, this is the way it is, so I'm hopeless. This is the way it is, so it's pointless. Well, this is the way it is, what can I do? No. That's the neuroplasticity, psychological root that's been created by them through fear, anxiety, and depression that leads to the eradication of hopelessness that is the only thing that keeps your soul alive. The last thing that any human can ever give up as an energy is hope. And once you give up that, that's it. Everything else can be taken from us. So many things can be taken. Almost everything can be taken from a human being. The only thing that can't be taken is hope. We give that up. We understand that the psychological poison that has been played upon us all has all been by design. Then self-determination should be kicking in, because you shouldn't be letting anybody or anything, especially psychologically, take control of how you feel. Take that back. You determine what you perceive, how you want to determine, how you want to feel about things. Don't let other things make you feel. You make you feel. Knowing, if I could try and put it into if I could try and put it on a sort of psychological level, knowing is very much on a quantum level, man. Knowing is knowing. There is good and bad. There is black and white. Knowing is knowing. The double-edged sword. Knowing is knowing. We definitely know what we know. But then once you start those base levels and get back to basics of the things that we know, once you start climbing that knowing ladder, you know it. You see it. You see the zero integrity to maximise profits. You see that politicians don't run our countries. We see they're only in power for maybe 4 years, 8 years, maybe 12 years at the best within a sort of like a political sort of like platform. We see it's these deep leveled lobbyists that are connected to all the major corporations that actually run the politicians. Everybody sees it. The eradication, the constant rape, pillage and slaughter of people, the constant drawing different lines and borders in the sand, the corporations into every single part of our lives. Everybody sees it. That's knowing. But people will choose believing, well, they're needy, they're not here for a good cause, and yeah, they'll make up many levels of belief. And for many people like myself, all I really know is what I don't know. Because how massive is the difference believing something's true and knowing something's true? So in all these different deep religious circles saying you need belief, what, to get to knowing? What, you need to believe first? Does that not feel like some sort of little trick? You need to believe, you need to believe. So what is that quantified? You need to believe, but then you'll know? Wouldn't you think you would know before belief? You would just know. You wouldn't need belief. You wouldn't need to believe if you knew. And I don't know myself. I'm really just spinning my wheels here. But yeah, let it flow. Do you think do you think that when a mother gives birth, there's no pain, darkness, anguish, blood, tearing? Brother, Humanity itself is in the birth canal of spirituality. What you're expressing is natural feelings. And there's certain energies on this planet who will express what you've just expressed. That you are to a point, you just feel like what's left if it's going to be like this. Knowing that this is the way it's meant to be, when it's meant to be, it totally changes your core energy and just clicks your mindset and perspective that it makes things manageable. Yeah, I know we're just chatting. It's all good, brother. Yeah, man, yeah, man. Yeah, just spinning my wheels. Just not burning any rubber. Too expensive. It's just so easily triggered, you know. So when we understand we're just little psychological triggers. And then once we can maybe do a bit of self analytical depth and look at ourselves and understand that we individually make ourselves feel a certain way. Nothing makes us feel a certain way. It's how we have perceived a certain experience. It's who we became as characters and how we perceive life will determine how we will feel by what we experience, what we see, and what we hear. There's an awful lot of outward manipulation in that, where things that happen outside us are making us feel a certain way, rather than us properly judge the experience and perception and controlling feelings. There's not many things now that will get me angry, make me sad. I'm determined to keep a strong energy, as well as agreeing with everything that you've been just saying as well. That yeah, seems so senseless out there, and when we witness what's going on, and when I see the corporation doubling, trebling, quadrupling down, pharmacological industry doubling down, the industrial military complex doubling down, this peace loving hippie that's got nothing but hope for planet and humanity, you better believe it, I'm doubling down, mate. And even though I will get points like I will feel down and I will feel distressed and I will feel a sense of hopelessness, there's no way that that's going to be a vibration that I'm going to retain. Because wherever I've came from deep within my heritage and spiritualized DNA, I don't know where this has came from, but I'll never give in. I think that's what that is. And good news, you know what? It's difficult to come by good news. And we always need to try and redress the balance a little bit before we do actually feel that we're laying in deep waters. And it's a pointing out the very important gratefulness part of each individual part of our lives. Whatever we can say, you know what, I have a home, or whatever we can still be that little bit grateful for, it's enough to just override the balance a little bit. Even to the point where it's, you know what, lucky we're even here another day. So there's the good news. Don't ever feel there's no good news. Even with the horrendous bad news that is easy to access and we all see it, we still need to try and be connecting to that other vibration, because it's vibrations is the creation, we know that. So we're going to take a word or an action or a moment that's going to change history. That's how history changes in moments like that. And well overdue. Surely there'll be a white hat in the crowd at some point. If not an X10 solar flare. Direct hit. That'll put everybody on a thinking mode for sure. Yeah. I think all we've got is those grey skies for today, man. See how the Chief's doing. Can you sit there? That drip, 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 drip effect eventually creates valleys, man. Nature tells us the smallest of oaks, the smallest of seeds to the biggest of oaks. Let me just see, man. Check something. Yeah, man, yeah, man. The countdown is on Rumble. 1 subscriber. And I've got about 6 or 7 videos that I'll be able to play up on Rumble that YouTube have removed. And the things that I started posting up on Rumble as well was a little sort of documentary movie I made called Asylum FM Ward 420. And it was about a mental patient in an asylum. And it was his view of what he was witnessing in the world from the insane asylum. So it's about an hour and a half video of. But one time, it was loads of times you could just grab and take things from YouTube, and I tried to put it out on YouTube, and they gave me about 140 copyright strikes. But all over the thing that I'd made, I was saying there was no monetary gain. I was only making something through creative use and all the disclaimers that you can put on it, no advertising and stuff. But still, they didn't let me put it out because it was graphic and it was to the point, and it was talking about war. It was talking about what was happening in Syria, what was happening in Iraq, what was happening in Aleppo, what was happening in Gaza, 2015, 2016. And we see this consistent repetition of problem, action, profitable solution. Nothing changes. And I was trying to make a sort of like critical view at that from someone who would maybe be in an asylum, and how someone from asylum, how they would see things. So yeah, I'm going to start to bit by bit put that up onto Rumble, and then I'll probably put up the full movie on Rumble, because it looks like Rumble's going to let me do that. So cool, man. Rumble Stiltskin. I mean, if you know where it's at, it's last day on the planet stuff. So it's get busy at whatever you can get busy at. And that's wash your windows, tidy your house, get married. I don't know, man. You better get busy. Because just what we were talking about, or just what I was saying, even the way the corporation is everything all set up at the moment, it's easy for there to be an accident. Yeah, man. Well, surely somebody must be called Rumble Stiltskin on there. I don't even know where that came from there. You know what I mean? I sort of know the story a little bit about Rumble Stiltskin. He used to keep all, he kept the person God, but see, even now I'm thinking about it, all these old cartoons that we used to see when we were young, and all these little fairy tales and stories, they're really evil, all get twisted meaning and intent behind them. But we know the sort of psychological sort of like trick that's been played in every single one of us since we've been young. And even though it's a new blueprinted version that's getting played psychological on the young now, we were fed the fairy tale, in our generation. This generation, they're being allowed to create their own fairy tale. And it is a tale for the fairies, man. It was my friend that turned me on to Rumble, and then I'd been watching a few channels that were having problems on YouTube and going to Rumble, so I started going there. And I actually had went to Rumble months and months ago, and I was having problems with YouTube, the usual community strike stuff, and I was having problems even downloading videos and stuff like that, and I couldn't get things uploaded to Rumble, and I thought, you know what, not now. But yeah, times change. Let me just see. I know you're dangerously close to 3 o'clock, so I've been up and about since 6. I'm going to be on my third coffee. I'm going to roll my second joint. Meanwhile, 3 o'clock in the morning in Michigan. And actually, if you don't stand up, oh, bah, 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 bah. We could lose the stream at any second. I'll probably be staying live for another hour or so here anyway, mate. All I'm going to be doing today is working on OBS, doing a video for Rumble, hoping for my 5th subscriber, and eventually getting live onto Rumble, man. You're more than welcome just to be here in the background, drop a comment. But if you're going to get to your bed, man, yeah, man. It's been great to speak with you, brother. Yeah, man. Vibe on, vibe up, plant positive seeds, brother. Love you, man. Thank you for stimulating the conversation. I always need to let these vibrations out. That was one of my full purposes for going to YouTube in the first place, is so I could release some of my thoughts out into the ether. Vibe on, mate. Peace, man. Oh.
loods in brand midden in de woonwijk. Eén persoon raakte gewond en is naar het ziekenhuis gebracht. Het vuur werd rond 6 uur vanmorgen ontdekt. Kort daarvoor was volgens de woning die vuurwerk te horen, maar de veiligheidsregio wil nog niet zeggen over de oorzaak. In de lood zitten verschillende bedrijven. Ook raakten verschillende auto's in brand. Bij de brand komt mogelijk asbesthoudend materiaal vrij van het dak naar de veiligheidsregio. Daarom is er een meldalert verstuurd. Het vuur is inmiddels onder controle. China ontkent netclaim achter de spionagesoftware te zitten. Die is ontdekt op een computersysteem van de Nederlandse krijgsmacht. De Chinese ambassade spreekt van gevaarlijke speculaties en de kopieën beschuldiging. De militaire inlichting en veiligheidsdienst zegt gisteren dat het in een malware is geplaatst door de Chinese staatssysteem. De malware zat verstopt in een programma waarmee medewerkers van Defensie op afstand kunnen werken. Ook andere instellingen gebruiken de software. Daarom waarschuwen de NIVD en andere bedrijven om hun systemen met updates te controleren. 1 op de 3 mensen met een houtkapper heeft vorig jaar meer gestookt dan daarvoor. Dat komt door de hoge gasprijs, meldt het Centraal Bureau voor de Statistiek. Vooral bij mensen die minder te besteden hebben, spelen de hoge kosten voor gas een rol. Ze zien zich genoodzaakt om het huis warm te stoken met hout. Voor houthandelaren is het goed nieuws, die zien de vraag toenemen.
Ja, ik denk dat ieder jaar wel 4% meer dan het veranderd. De laatste 3 jaar.
Er zijn ook mensen die vorig jaar juist minder hout hebben gestookt, vanwege het milieu.
Ja, ik heb in de stad wel een klein aantal mensen die gestopt zijn met houtstoken. Die denken inderdaad, in Hasselmarkt word ik boeren.
Sommige gemeenten moedigen het stoken op hout vanwege de luchtverontreiniging, gezondheidsklachten die het veroorzaakt. Daarom kunnen mensen sinds 2021 hun houtkachel met overheidssubsidie laten verwijderen. De Amerikaanse minister van Buitenlandse Zaken, Blinken, is vandaag aangekomen in Israël. Hij wil meer proberen om nieuwe gijzelaarsdeals te bereiken tussen Hamas en Israël. Volgens bemiddelaar Qatar staat Hamas positief tegenover het deal, maar Israël zegt dat Hamas onacceptabele voorwaarden stelt, zoals een permanent staakt het vuren. Blinken spreekt in Israël ook over de humanitaire crisis in Gaza. Sinds de 5 oorlog, precies 4 maanden geleden, verslechtert die elke dag. Honderdduizenden Gazanen leven in vluchtelingenkampen. Daar dreigt constant hongersnood en de uitbraak van ziektes. Volgens de Palestijnse gezondheidsorganisaties zijn in de afgelopen 4 maanden ruim 27.000 Palestijnen omgekomen. We kunnen naar de andere woorden gaat het natuurlijk ook over inzicht en informatiegesprekken. En er is ook ander nieuws. 250.000 67-plussers willen best doorwerken op de Telegraaf vanochtend. Maar de mindset is nog te veel dat oudere werknemers jongeren in de weg zitten op de werkvloer. Dat zegt Fabian Hammer in een rapport. De bank doet erop om grijs potentieel beter te benutten. En innovaties zijn er op de andere bedrijfstakken. Op de horeca, op een beurs in Leeuwarden, is de snackrobot gepresenteerd, de Locataria.
Als een robotactie die een frikandel uit de vriezer haalt, vervolgens dat gaat frituren in de frituur van volgens dezelfde drukwijze aan het afgebakken, maar exact op dezelfde manier, alleen dan zonder tussenkomst van handen en tussenkomst van robots.
Het apparaat zou ook zuiniger zijn, omdat het precies geworden berekent hoeveel olie nodig is. De vliegtuig van de Argentijnse marine vliegen ruim 47 jaar geleden van Japan, dus boven het Argentijnse deel van Antarctica. En al die jaren werd er niets genomen van de soorten toestellen om het in zijn hoogste tijd te moeten.
Bye Bob, plant positive seeds. It's the only thing that grows right. Peace.